everything was stacked up. I mean, that was 58 and I still thought I could win it.
Bowl at the Blue Monster, you've hit one, but she's given us that fucking 3-iron.
I stayed competitive for 25 years because of it. I'd have been long gone if I'd stuck on the tee. Oh, that was the one. Sit, sit, sit! Come back, baby! Come back!
Laura Davies, an ex-boss of mine with us for a little chat.
Cheers, Laura.
On the
Nice
couch.
to see you.
Cheers.
Good health, darling.
Thanks for
Good
coming,
to see
love.
you.
Got a birthday in a few days as well.
Stop
actually,
meeting
I
like
remember.
this, Laura.
Early October.
Yeah, always on the piss.
Shall I keep the dash or not?
Yeah.
Suits you.
So as we were before we were even camera rolling, just chatting about stories, we've already gone through the cage and the truck stop. But one I remember with you, Laura, you'll remember this. We're going from, you boys will like this. We're going from...
I'm worried now.
No, you don't need to be worried. It's not one of them. There's plenty
Please
you could
tell
be.
me it's Las Vegas.
We both know. No, it's not.
Cover,
No.
yeah.
We played a tournament at Royal Pines in Brisbane. And the week after was in Honolulu. So we were flying down from Brisbane to Sydney. We had just the one night in Sydney and a morning flight to Honolulu. So we're on the flight, the very short flight from Brisbane down to Sydney. We're like, what are we going to do? And Laura says, oh, there's a dog track in Sydney. We could go to the dogs. I said, oh, that sounds like a night out. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go to the dogs.
Yeah, of course you know the dogs that are in Sydney, wouldn't you?
Well, Laura did.
I know
didn't.
that.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna have an evening at the dogs. But we get to our hotel. I don't know. Let's say it's 7 o'clock, and the dog starts at 7:30. So we literally check in, get in the lift, go up to the rooms, open the door. Didn't walk in it. Wheeled the case in, shut the door, downstairs, taxi, dog track. So we're at the dog track for I don't know how many races, but probably 3 hours. We didn't win a race, did we? We've got fucking mullered. Absolutely couldn't pick a winner, either of us. So right, end of night. It's only about, I think it was about 10, half 10 at night. Taxi back to the hotel. Well, to get to the hotel, we had to pass that Star Casino.
Yes.
Star Casino.
Casino.
And Laura says to me, why don't we just stop at that Star Casino? It's only 10:30. We'll stop there for an hour and then back to the hotel and up for that flight in the morning. I said, Laura, I had literally, I swear on my life, I had $5 Aussie in my pocket. I said, Laura, I've got $5.
Turn that into 500.
I said, it's better than that. I said, we've just blown out. She goes, well, I've only got, I think you had like a couple of $100 on. She said, I ain't got anything left. She said, well, we may as well just go in there, get rid of this Aussie money, safe changing it, and off we go on. So we go in there, and I go to a roulette table. And you wanted to play blackjack, didn't you? And I remember I could see the back, and you kept looking around because the very first spin I had, I just thought, what am I going to do with this $5? So I said, just give us a $5 chip, mate. And I threw it on number 6, and he spun this wheel, and it went, dink, 6. $175. Lovely. So I've gone running up. Yeah, I've just hit that first number. Oh, lovely, she said. Good, I've had a couple of good hands already. And so anyway, this goes on now for a while, and she keeps looking back, going, oh, what about you? Yeah, good. Cut a long story short, we leave that casino at 7:30 in the morning, go back to the hotel, open that same door, wheel the case back out, and go to the airport and piss off to Honolulu. I promise you, I turned $5 Aussie into $9,000, and God knows what you ended up with, but it was more than that. You had a right touch on it was just one of them nights, none of us could go. It started horrendous, and then it couldn't go wrong, and we left flush as you like.
Didn't it? Shouldn't have paid for the hotel room.
10 foot in the room.
No.
Didn't put my toe in it, just put the
Pushing,
bag in and then
grab
got
out.
it back out in the morning, straight to the airport and kipping on the way to Honolulu. Brilliant night.
That's the way to do it. That's the
Brilliant.
way
There
to
was
do
a few of them. We used to love I remember you as well, another one with you with the casino. Do you remember when you'd had a decent night in when we played in Atlantic City and you'd had these purple $500 chips that you'd whatever it was, you'd had a bit of a touch the night before and you had a few of them, and I was meeting you in the lobby, but you had to walk through the casino to get to the courtesy car.
Yeah.
And you bought one of them down and you said, do you know what I'm going to do? She said, I'm going to throw this on that roulette wheel, and wherever it lands, and I remember it this well, I said, wherever it lands, she said, I'm just going to let that ride because I've had a good night and we'll see how that goes. So she lobs it and it does a little roll and it lands on the line between 17 and something. And the guy said to you,
20.
what did you want 20 or 17, or are you happy with the line? And she went, oh, I don't know, what's it on most? He said, most of it's on 17. She said, put it on that. Same thing, bang, 17.
That's the only 2 times it's ever happened, by the way.
So, yeah,
That's why I'm still
17 and a half
working.
grand in the taxi up for the pro.
It doesn't always happen like that, I
Wasn't there
can
another one
assure
you
you.
were skinting, you'd entered a darts tournament somewhere. Didn't you
Yeah, but there
clean
weren't a
up
lot of money in that. Do you remember that when I won that darts tournament in Nashville?
Oh, yeah.
There was a darts tournament in Nashville, but it was the, I think it was that, that not proper dart, that...
Oh, the
well,
plastic
tips and you
ones,
scored-
yeah.
It was that, yeah.
Well, he was a proper darts
That's
player,
all they
he was.
did, but I was decent back then, and cleaned up there in, I don't know what it was, a few quid, but weren't as good as that night in Star Casino in Sydney, I know
That's
that.
good. But you've mentioned all the good nights. There were plenty where we left. Me and Fooch once left Atlantic City with 25 cents between us, and we had about $8 in tolls to pay.
But that's because you had him with you.
Yeah,
I mean, Mr. Doom and Gloom.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll make anything finish. Fooch. Remember the ticket?
Oh, yeah. It's all about racing and gambling, isn't it? with us?
So
It was-
far, yeah. Don't want to paint a bad picture.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fucci's
Fucci.
got he backed this horse.
It's the funniest
And he
thing
was
I've ever
passionate.
seen.
He's passionate about it. He had a decent bet on this horse. He's passionate about it. And
It was in
as they come,
Phoenix.
and as they come around the final bend, he's running up the
No,
barrier
that was New
with
York.
them.
That was New York.
Was it New York?
That was New York.
And he's
yeah.
going, come on. Anyway, as they go like that, his horse gets tipped on the line, and he goes, and he gets his ticket and lobs it like that on the floor. Everyone's lobbed all their tickets, haven't they? So anyway, he's walking back up these steps where we were sat, and he's gone, can you believe it? Look, and then all of a sudden the guy calls out, race 8, steward's inquiry. He goes, steward's off. So he goes down. Now he's hunting through the tickets,
We're all
right?
hanging over the balcony.
So
at
he's
this
going like
stage.
that, and we're watching. We're saying, look at him, look. And he's going like that, opening that one. And then it was like
It was brilliant.
It was perfect
It was
timing.
brilliant.
He went, I got it. And as he said it, mate, he said, race number 8, result stands. Oh, brilliant. That's the sort of shit. Now, can you imagine us banter? I mean, mates, you just couldn't have happened any better. You
Oh,
want him to
fantastic.
win. You want him to win, but if he's going to lose like that, because that's brilliant.
It
That's
was
just
brilliant.
great fun.
Laura, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How many mysteries did he give you?
Too many to mention, I think.
Well,
To
give
be
me a
honest, no.
classic. Just give me one classic that.
I can't think of any actual mysteries. We fell out once because we came out. It was near the end, wasn't it? I don't know if you remember. It was in that Kellogg's tournament, and I've hit. We're back and forth between the 60 or the 56.
Don't
And
tell me I got you to hit the 60. Please say it was
Yeah,
the
you
other way
did.
around. Oh,
You did.
What a waste.
So
I knew this was coming.
I'm saying I think we hit the easy one. You can get this there easy. You can get this there easy. Anyway, I've gone with the 60 because obviously Tel knows best, and I've hit it. Spins off the front down, and all I've said something like, "Well, that was a great decision. That was great." So, well, you didn't hit it, he said, and that was it. My head was off at that point. We never spoke for the rest of the round. But I can't think of mysteries.
But that's how you learn. I learned a lot caddying for, and I'm sure you boys will say the same. Every time you learn off the player, don't you? And it must have been that sticks in my mind because I'm always the opposite now. If someone's between them, I'll always say, well, no, don't
You're just
try
gonna
and do this,
overspin
just
it.
chip one.
But that's the one that
But
stands
you
out
just
for
pick
me.
up. You just pick up. But we got on for the best part. We got on. I
yeah.
told him the story this morning with Beamer. Remember when we got
Not the
that
Japanese one.
No, when we got that alarm clock. And you were
Yeah.
wake up, you fat fucker. It's 6 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. These were crying. But same thing, same meat, different gravy. Like all the time I've had with Polts, and I'm sure you, Westy Clark, all the rest of it. And going back to the Ryder Cups with him, we just have banter with it. The players and caddies, we've always had banter with each other, a bit of fun, wind-ups, and that's probably why we're just closer. He says it's the same thing with the commentating. He said they all think you're nuts in America. They all,
Yeah. Well, like I say, they think we don't get on.
They just take it more seriously. They don't have the
Well,
fun we have.
I think the other thing is they don't quite get our sense of humour. They have their weird sense of humour, I've always felt. And, they'll say stuff and I'm like, why do they think this is funny? It's not funny. And, I'm sure it's reversed when they see us and they go, wow, these people are a bit weird. I mean, why are they all taking a piss out of each other?
Going back to the golf, when I worked for Laura, I had a great time. It was probably the best 8 years of my life. But Laura hit it so much further than anyone else at the time that if she putted half decent, she's going to win, you know, or right there. But what used to drive you nuts, because she, just when I was caddy for all these little Koreans started coming out at 4'8", and Laura's knocking it, honestly, 80 past them. And this girl would be back there with a
Kimmy.
7 would
Kimmy.
me and Kim
Me
used to
and
drive
Kim.
it. Used to drive her nuts.
Oh, she was
and she'd go,
brilliant. But bloody hell.
Dunk, 5 feet.
And you've got
She's
her a
up there
wedge
with
now.
a wedge. And she'd say,
Yeah.
she's doing my head in.
Yeah. Well, she was brilliant, wasn't she? I mean, some of the rounds she
They
used to
still do
shoot.
it. I watch it a lot.
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
the
No, I mean, they're
TV now.
fantastic. They're a lot longer now, though, to be fair.
They're a lot longer, but they
Yeah.
still, the girls, and the guys could probably learn a lot from it. The girls still hit those utility clubs like blokes hit wedges.
Well, look
They
at
hit it
Lydia
as close.
Coe. Lydia Coe's the best in the world
It's
at it.
unbelievable,
Yeah.
isn't it? They get that, they've got, I don't know, like 200 yards. Look, rescue club, up in the air, lands, goes nowhere, it's next to the pin. Very, very good. Very good. Do you miss it?
What, playing?
Yeah.
Not really, because I was so bad towards the end. It wasn't fun anymore. And you know what I'm like. But if it's not going well,
You
yeah.
always, I remember you always used to
I
say,
can
to me,
relate
when
to
the
that.
day comes, that I generally don't think,
Hmm.
if I enter a tournament, I generally don't think, no matter how well I play, I can't win it, then that's it. I'm hanging my boots up.
Up until 2 years ago, I still was hitting it really well. But I wasn't scoring particularly well because I'd already started doing the commentary.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that little edge that you've got as a player that plays a lot of tournaments, that had gone.
Yeah.
So now I'm just relying on, and now I'm hitting it shorter than these girls. So everything was stacked up. I mean, that was 58, and I still thought I could win. It's pathetic when you think about it now. But you have to have that. No, I mean, last time I could have won was 5 years ago in Phoenix. I led with about 6 holes to go, and Inby Partners did what she did, birdied them all in. But that was 5 years ago. And so yeah, I was still a little bit competitive, but I was didn't enter the Open at St Andrews this year, and I just thought I wouldn't be able to hit that first fairway. You know, it's 125 yards wide, and I'd have just been. I honest to God don't think I could have got it airborne. So I knew about 6 months ago, just don't do it to yourself. So, and as soon as I did that, I've played a few seniors events, and I was even getting nervous in seniors events because it was carrying over from the regular tour. And now I'm enjoying the seniors golf. So I'll probably play 6 or 8 seniors events next year. I did 6 this year, so it's a bit of fun.
Is that in America, Laura?
Yeah, all in America.
Didn't
Yeah, I
Beamer
guess
say he knocked it out of bounds here a few times?
I think
When
the only
we
one I
spoke to
know
him,
of
he
is
said-
Baker
no, he
Finch.
said-
Well, I'll tell you what,
he said-
El sent it into this hotel, and Johan Rupert never let him forget it.
Baker Finch ain't the only one. I mean, you
Yeah, like I
said
said,
you
Westy 2015
Westy.
in the Open first tee.
Best-
That's the nerves, isn't it? It's like
best
best drive of
in-
the golf ball that is.
And he went in
He hit
it.
his arse against the fence down the
Oh
left.
my God, well, I think I'd go on the
Inbounds
beach,
by
right.
2 foot. He hit a
Left,
provisional.
left wouldn't worry me, it's right. That's all I can think about. Well, you know what I was like
I
with
think
right.
if I'm correct, did not Baker Finch on 18 hit it out of bounds left?
No, he hit it out of bounds off the first.
first.
Off
Left
the first,
of 18,
sorry,
yeah.
First.
Okay.
Yeah.
well,
Laura and I used to argue a lot about that because Laura had a genuine issue with blocking it off a tee peg,
Off a
which is
tee
why
peg,
she
yeah.
went down on the deck, and we used to
He
chat
hated-
about.
he
I
hated
hate-
it,
I hated
basically,
it. I
and he
hated
couldn't
it. I hated
understand
it
it.
because
Greenkeepers hated it as well, Laura. let
No,
me
they
tell you.
didn't
no,
care.
the
They
reason
didn't
I
care.
hated it, she was still longer than most, but it had lost her that 50
Oh, yeah.
that she was getting, and I used to keep saying, "You got to get that back." You don't, and I didn't understand, but you know, I didn't.
At least he didn't mention it though, which was great. You know.
But we had this tournament. It was the week before the row, and I can't remember where we were. And we'd played the Thursday and Friday, and you were hitting it off the deck, and we were arguing about it all the time. And I remember we finished at 1 over par, and we'd played late early, so cleared the locker out. Cut's going to be even all day long. Cleared the locker out, go back to the hotel we're staying in. And I remember texting you and saying, "Here, that's got windy out there. They scored." "Oh, shut up! It's even all day long. We've missed by one. Get your head around it. We're out of here." Okay, all right. Anyway, it goes on. So I'm telling you, this has got a chance. Anyway, it gets in. So I said to Laura, "Right, listen, do us a favour." I said, "You generally thought you'd miss this cut." I said, "Let's have a weekend, back up on the tee peg, launching it. And if it all goes wrong, we ain't going to finish any worse." So she buys into this. Yeah. She said, "All right, if that's what you want." So she gets that, and I remember that second hole with the road down the right, par 5, and she blocks one over the road and looks at me and said, "What do I do?" And I said, "Just do it again. Just hit another one again, and she hit a bit of a sort of heely one, but in the fairway. Knocked it on the green and made a 6 with the next ball. But ended up finishing something like 3rd in the tournament. She had a great weekend, teed them all up. Well, we get in the car and we're driving. She says, I think we're back, Tel. I think we're back. We got this. And then I remember the 10th hole at the Blue Monster. You've hit one, but she's given us that fucking 3-iron. Back on you're gone again. It's like, no! But yeah, that was the thing. But look,
Not that it's mental, this game.
well, it is, and she generally, you used to
My
say
whole
to me, you used to say, I get a
1991.
feeling in my shoulders, and I just feel like it's only going over there. But when you put it off the deck, you
Yeah.
can start it left and cut it.
I stayed competitive for 25 years because of it. I'd have been long gone if I'd stuck on a tee. I mean,
Yeah.
even to this day, it's a struggle.
Beefy's waiting to get in, look. So, yeah, I know, you've got to do what you've got to do, but yeah, like you say, you won tournaments doing it, didn't
Oh,
you?
yeah. No, it wasn't an issue. As soon as I started hitting off the deck, it wasn't an issue.
But from a caddie's point, you know, when you think she's 50 longer, she could obliterate this field. I just couldn't get my head around it.
That's the
Yeah,
trouble
come on,
with
you've got to
caddies.
have a go.
You haven't got to take it back.
We ain't the
You
ones
tell
who-
us how to do it. That's the
We ain't
difference.
the ones who've got to hit it,
Yeah.
and you're dead right. Dead right.
And I'm a caddy lover. I'm not a caddy hater, so that comes from a good place.
Thanks for that.
Are you enjoying the commentary, Laura?
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, the boys are great fun. We have a laugh. We try and trip each other up all the time and
As you do, yeah.
stick each other under the bus. But yeah, it's talking about what I know. So it's not pressurised. It's something. I'm still involved, but I'm not involved, obviously, in playing anymore. And it took me a while to get used to that, knowing I wasn't good enough anymore. But now it's just good fun. I mean, I do have a good time, and
Is it a pretty full schedule?
I do 19 a year. So I just do PGA apart from the Women's Open. So I do all the majors, the Players, obviously Wentworth up here. So I'm lucky. I do all the big tournaments that I've never been to in my career because obviously it's all men's tour golf, which is nice.
Yeah, it must be good fun, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Do the
just
Masters.
did
Tom?
Do the Masters, yeah, all the majors. They're the ones.
And you just did the vice captain role, didn't you? at the
Yeah, that was good fun. Yeah, I mean,
Not
again,
the,
we
not
were.
the result. It always
No.
got a bad start, didn't they?
I know we did in Spain, but we had the home
then
crowd,
got
and
it
that was the
back.
difference. And we won that. Well, we tied that one, but 6-2 down away from home. And to be fair, up until an hour before the end, we were still just about in it.
Yeah, I
So-
remember the girl, Maya Stark, who tried to hole a putt to win and knocked it way
Knocked
past.
it well past,
But she
and then
holed
binned
it,
it, yeah.
to get the half.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was a late match, and so it's still in the
It
balance.
was Lilia
so
who finished us off. She was 2 down, 2 to play against Alban, and
Won
she
them both.
she holed a 30-40 footer on 17, and
I
then
watched it.
stiffed it on 18.
Sat and watched every
Yeah, no, it was
minute of
great.
that.
It was good fun. The team room's always fun. You know, you've all been
Oh,
in
yeah.
Ryder Cup team rooms. You know what it's like. And
Yeah, same meat, different gravy.
Yeah,
Because someone
exactly.
asked me that once, Solheim Cup and Ryder Cup, because I'd done them both. What's the difference? And I said, well, there isn't really. It's you got the same amount of matches, and you go out, you try. It's the same meat, different gravy. The Ryder Cup's just bigger, you know, as a spectacle, media-wise and whatever. But the competition is exactly it's 28 points, 2 teams, and you're figuring out who to play foursomes with and what they're doing.
Have you captained it, Laura, or would you do it?
no, never wanted to do it. Never interested in it. And this year, a few things happen, and I just used to say to Suzanne, who was the captain, that's another reason I don't want to be a captain.
Yeah.
That's another reason I don't want to be captain.
I've never
understand where you're coming
understood that.
from,
I would have thought you'd have been, for me, the respect you got from all the players and the career you've had and all the rest, you're the most natural, easiest choice of a captain. And I'm
Yeah,
sure
I mean,
if
the problem is I still thought I was a good player. Again, it comes back to the stubbornness. 58, still think I'm a decent player, whereas, that had finished when I was 53. Yeah, but that's the thing. And, you still, if you're that, it's not arrogance, it's just, you know how good you've been, and it's hard to let go of that. And so if you're going to be the captain, you can't still be thinking you're a player. Suzanne, she waited till she'd had
Your mindset has
yeah,
to change.
it's like Keegan. How's he going to do that role if he's playing well enough? He could actually be in that Ryder Cup team.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Yeah, my
difficult
de
one.
facto way for
Presumably,
making the team,
Yeah.
because
presumably
mine's all
they'd
offence.
change it. They wouldn't have a playing
Well, he
captain,
says
would they?
he said he was going to play. That I'd be really surprised because it's just two
can't-
completely
I
different
mean,
roles.
I think when Ernie was captain of the President's Cup in Melbourne, I mean, he was still thinking like he was playing, and he's trying to get it over to these guys, and it frustrated him immensely. And anyway, we got beat comfortably there, and they wanted him back, and he's like, "No, I'm done with this
No,
shit
exactly.
now.
There
I'm
you go. That's
fucking
the
done
thing.
with this.
Yeah.
I can't be doing
I'm
it."
not sure about Westy, I mean, I think Westy were meant to be the captain in Italy, you know, and whether it was the live thing or whether he just thought, he still thought he wanted to make the team, you know, and
I think it was the latter. I think he
yeah,
still
I think he thought
if
if he committed to be captain, he won't be able to concentrate on playing good enough golf. He wanted to make the team.
Yeah, that's the
So
thing.
he
It's
ruled
a fine
himself
line.
out, you know, and then obviously lives is what it is. Whether it'll be seen that, you know, Wesley or Garcia or Stenson or whoever, it'll be Poulter. They'd have been the next captains.
I think they were all, I think it was all earmarked. I think Poltz was going to be this one coming up. I think it was going to be Poltz in New York. It was going to be Henrik at the last one. Then it was going to be Poltz. Then presumably, you know, people like Garcia, who once he weren't playing was always going to be a captain. G-Mac, I suppose. Rosie, so many of them.
There was so
that was
many.
the problem. It was like, who's gonna do this? Because they're all about the same age, them boys. A few years in it. So someone was going to miss out. So maybe it's helped. Maybe it's helped out because obviously those live guys ain't
there were a lot of
going to do that now.
contenders man.
It's almost this time. It's like, who are you going to choose? So the obvious candidate, you get Luke back because he did such a good job, you know, and he's happy to do it. So why wouldn't you? Going back in the day, Tony Jacqueline did it 3 times. Bernie Gallagher did it 3 times.
Never saw that happening again though.
No,
the
you
Solheim
didn't see
Cups
it
do that, don't they? They had the Solheim Cup do that. They had Beanie
Yeah,
about
yeah,
3.
she had 2. No, she had 2. In the early
Suzanne's done
days.
2. Who's doing the next one? What's the rumours there for the next
I
one?
mean, it's hard to say. I mean, the obvious candidates would have been me, the vice captains, Mel Reid, and Nordquist, Anna Nordquist.
Oh, okay.
So I think,
she played
you know,
though, didn't she?
she did, yeah. But I think if she was off the captaincy, I think she'd be happy. And Reedy the same. You know, they're both really good Solheim Cuppers. And
what about you now? You're not playing. Would you ever?
no,
You still don't want
again, like I told Suzanne about every day, at least once a day, I said to her, that's why I don't want to be captain. So
You just want to beat somebody's head in or something.
no, you know, it's just the silly things that, you know, in your career, you do everything for yourself, don't you? You don't rely on your caddy or...
Selfish sport, isn't it?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden people forget their waterproofs and you think, oh, for Christ's sake, you know, you wouldn't do that if you were at St Andrews, so why have you done it now, sort of thing. And it's just silly little things and it just winds me up. But they're a great bunch of girls, I have to say, and it would be fun leading them if I could be bothered, but I can't.
Fair enough. Would you be a vice captain again?
Oh yeah, I mean I've done it the last 4 times and it's just great fun. It really is good fun and you support the captain and get on. I get on really well with the girl. They're a really good bunch, this bunch, and they're very good. I think our team will stay similar for the next 2 or 3 Solheim Cups because they're all young enough. Charlie was superb this time.
Yeah,
she was a superstar. In and out of the team room, she was great. Really good.
But even though you get on with most of them players, like you said a minute ago, you spent your whole playing career going out to dinner with the caddies at night.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, exactly.
She loved the caddies. She'd come out with us wherever we were going.
It was always good fun, yeah.
And home with the last one most of the time.
No, see, that's not true.
No, that ain't.
That's not true. But anyway, no, it was good. It's always good fun. That's the thing. It's not, you know, it's not golf all the time with the caddies.
We couldn't be home with the last one because it was Adam.
Yeah, you can't get. Well, Adam's still the same though.
I know.
Every night at the Solheim, because obviously he caddies for Charlie now. Yeah. Every night, last man standing. Every night.
I love it when she got some stick because she had a fag in her mouth. You know?
Oh, Charlie, she don't care.
She don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, she really doesn't.
I thought that was beautiful.
I mean, she was signing autographs to kids and blowing smoke. She's funny. She's a good girl.
Because I watch a lot still. Every time it's on, I watch the women's golf, and she's as long as most of them.
Yeah. She's not the longest, but she's far off it.
I don't see the weakness. She putts all right, and this and the other. And the bigger ones is the ones that she does have a crack at. Like you're getting a couple of majors, and her name's right there, and you're like, well, how comes you don't win 3 or 4 a year then? You know, it's like you're that good, but funny, isn't it? It must be.
We know how hard it is.
Oh God, it's so hard.
Once she wins one of the big ones, having said that, she won the Tour Championship 3 or 4 years ago, so that was pretty big one.
That's what I'm saying. That's the one she does perform in. Yeah. She'll win the Tour Championship. She finished second at the British Open. Was she second at the
US Open at Pebble?
So she's contending in all the big ones, and then I'll flick the telly on. It'll be just a regular tournament, and I see her there at, I don't know, 35th, and I think, God, she's better than that. But she don't seem to get up for it unless it is really big with big crowds.
Possibly. Adam says, her attitude's superb, so it's not attitude, that's for sure.
Well, it goes back to the old thing with Pulse, doesn't it? He was an absolute superstar in Ryder Cups, but, How many times did he?
Yeah,
chance to win a
we
million
had
or
loads
whatever,
of
you know?
conversations about that. And again, how do you bottle that? Because I used
You
to say,
can't keep
well,
that
if you-
energy level up though, can you?
No, if you start punching your chest on a Thursday when you birdie the third.
Our contestants have got 3 attempts to drive it as far as they can. Who will hit it the furthest?
Slightly better.
There you go.
It's not that far though. Hit the road. I've not beat you, Tel. This is a real problem.
You got 7 yards, or yeah, I won't mention it. I wouldn't tell anyone.
This is the most pressure I've ever been on in my career.
You
I
watch
can't
it.
beat you.
You watch this one.
Tell.
Bloody popcorn Terry.
I've always popcorned it off the tee.
Right. Be here all night trying to beat Terry.
That might be the one.
That's the one.
No, it's gone nowhere.
Is it too high?
Bloody hell. Got beat by Terry Mundy. I've thinned it.
Online?
No,
Bunker.
it's rubbish.
First one.
I get
It's in
3
the
though.
bunker.
In trap.
Yeah, but I've thinned it.
It's because you've hit a couple with the driver in it and that.
Now you know why I don't play anymore.
Come on, Laura, you can do this.
I don't think I can. Oh, that was better.
There you go. That's the one.
Is that at it?
That's a bit
That's the
right.
one.
It's a bit right.
That's a good
No,
shot.
this is decent.
Good club, Terry.
Well done, Tel.
Oh yeah, Terry. Good club.
Don't worry, she'd
Get
always
Tel
let,
back on the
she'd
bike
always
and
let
get
me
Solheim
know if it
Cup.
weren't.
Good club, Terry. Right, last chance saloon.
Last one. What was that one there, though?
25 feet. It's inside you, Tel.
Oh, that was the one. Little
There you
draw.
go, Laura. That's the money ball.
Oh, it's at
In the hole.
Oh, she's won the par 3. Yeah.
Sit. I'm back, baby.
Redeemed.
1'6". Get in there.
Right, who's got the entry form for that Open? That's all it takes.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Well, it's
Well
fair.
done.
Well done,
That's
mate.
one good one.
Coming up on the 19th Uncut, watch celebrity guests take on the longest drive and nearest the pin challenge. Guests include Sir Ian Botham,